Hello and welcome to Touch 'em All Sports Radio. It is January 31st. It is our last show of January, Ethan. Wow, can you believe January is almost over? Holy cow. Let's go ahead and get right to it, but first, before we get started, in the studio with us today is a special friend of mine and Ethan's. He's our basketball expert, on-campus basketball expert. Tate, welcome to the show. Tate Tipton, everybody.
Thank you. I am excited to be here.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Alex Smith to the Chiefs, Alex Smith to the Redskins, rather, from the Chiefs. Blake Griffin to the Pistons. Tate, can you kind of give us the lowdown on the Blake Griffin trade, because you know more basketball than Ethan and I combined.
Okay. Well, I think all Clippers fans think it was a really dumb trade, but me personally, I think it was great. Blake Griffin, he's only played like 60 games for the past 3 years out of an 82, 84 game season. Mm-hmm. And so he's injury prone and he's making a lot of money, and I don't think he's necessarily worth it. He's averaging basically 23 points this game and 8 rebounds, which is good. It's over his career high. But basically the Pistons traded away everybody on their team to get just Blake Griffin.
Right.
So the Clippers get Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley, and Boban Marjanovic. Sorry, I know I butchered that. And they get a protected first-round pick in 2018 and a 2019 protected second-round pick.
So they forked over a lot.
Yeah.
To get Blake Griffin.
Yeah. They got Blake Griffin, Bryce Johnson, and Willie Reed. Okay. But they got Blake Griffin.
And if you're Detroit fans, what should your reaction be to this trade?
Fire Van Gundy.
Fire everybody? Or just, because I get that, Detroit is just, I don't understand. I'm a Hawks fan, so and I'm not the biggest basketball fan in the world, but nonetheless, I don't really understand the logistics of this trade, because they forked over everybody. And if you're the Clippers, I understand it, but not if you're the Pistons. They really overpaid, I think.
Yeah, the Clippers win this trade, in my opinion. Tobias Harris averages 18 points a game, and Avery Bradley with 15. And then the Boban guy, he's 7'3" and only plays 9 minutes a game, but he averages 6 points. So if you up his minutes, he's gonna
six points a game in 9 minutes. That's nice. So what else should we know in the basketball world? Is there anything other than the Cavs internally hating themselves?
Well, Kevin Love got hurt. He fractured his hand.
Yeah, we already talked about Kevin Love's quote-unquote injuries before.
Well, this time it's an actual thing. He went to the doctor.
We hope so.
Yeah, I feel bad for Kevin Love. He's in a bad spot in Cleveland, and that might have ruined his chances of getting traded away this year. So you got to feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, I understand that. Let's moving on. We're going to talk about Alex Smith. Alex Smith getting traded to the Redskins. Ethan, why would you want Alex Smith? He's older than Kirk Cousins.
And you already have Kirk Cousins.
And you have Kirk Cousins. Well, Kirk Cousins is a free agent, but
So obviously that means they're not going to go after him in the free agent pool. So it means he's going to end up somewhere else.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. But I don't understand why you would want Alex Smith. He wasn't getting anything done in Cleveland, and he had the talent, Kansas City, rather. He wasn't getting anything done there.
And he had plenty of talent around him.
Yeah, sure they made the playoffs. Sure, but was it because of Alex Smith by himself? Nah, well, that's debatable. But I just don't understand why you would want Alex Smith. But where does Kirk Cousins go?
It's a fantastic question.
It's a good question. That's a good question. Tate, do you watch football? Do you watch a lot of football?
I keep up with it.
Yeah. What do you think?
I really don't know much about the trade. I like it for Alex Smith. It gives him a chance to possibly get something done outside of Kansas City. I don't really like that organization much anyways.
Andy Reid and his Hawaiian shirts. Let's talk about something, Ethan. It is, drum roll please, our show before the Super Bowl. The next time we will be on the air is after Super Bowl 52. Wow. 52 Super Bowls. Ethan, where has the time gone?
I remember the first one like it was yesterday.
Super Bowl 51 will feature both number 1 seeds from each conference. Also marks a rematch of Super Bowl XXXIX. And if you're not fluent in Roman numerals, that's 39. New England played Philadelphia in the 39th Super Bowl, and New England beat them 24-21. So this Super Bowl also features teams that were in the top 5 in both points scored in the fewest points allowed. That's the third time that's ever happened. This is Philly's 3rd Super Bowl ever, looking for their first ever win. And just to kind of put it in perspective, the Philadelphia Eagles are 0-3 in Super Bowls all time, while New England is 3-0 in their white uniforms in the Super Bowl. Just a comparison of how many trips the Patriots have made to the Super Bowl. Eagles have gone from worst to first. And I still question the legitimacy of the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, they had some good. I mean, yeah, they're in the Super Bowl, but still, I don't know. Nick Foles.
Yeah, well,
is he legit?
I'm curious to see how he ends up in, he's been in a couple pressured situations. Obviously, he's been in the playoffs. There's not much more pressurable than that. But I'm curious to see how he turns out in a Super Bowl situation going against Tom Brady and his Patriots, who's obviously the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And, you wonder how he turns that and see if he wins a game with that, see what happens, how he produces. Because, Carson Wentz, I believe, he might have been able – no one would have been doubting him. They probably would be – they wouldn't be the underdog in this situation, so I'm trying to get at.
Right.
And now I'm curious to see how Nick Foles can turn out in the game.
Yeah, as am I. I think we're in for a treat. Nick Foles versus Tom Brady.
Sounds scary.
and I heard something today on a sports show, and you take it as you will, but you can't. You have to be very simple to beat Tom Brady. And you have to just go in and play football, kind of fly under the radar. Don't be something flashy like an MVP, like Matt Ryan. Don't be something flashy. Just come in and play football, do your job, and leave. And that's how you'll beat Tom Brady. Eli Manning has perfected the Tom Brady defeat. But I think it's appropriate that we make picks today, fellas.
Absolutely.
So, Tate, we'll start with you. Who is your pick for the Super Bowl, and why?
Sadly, I want to say the Patriots. I want to pull for the Eagles, but Nick Foles is a starting quarterback, and I'm just not sure if he can get it done.
You don't think Nick Foles is elite? You don't think he's Joe Flacco elite status?
No, I do not. He figured it out though, and
yeah, he's
against
doing
the
a great job.
Vikings. So if it's that Nick Foles who. I mean, they destroyed the Vikings.
Just play out of his mind.
Yeah, if
Nick
he does
Foles.
that again, then it'll be a good game.
So Nick Foles has to play upwards of the best of his ability ever to have a good game with Tom Brady, is what you're saying.
So
yes.
you still think it's not enough. So you're, I'm taking it away from you. You tell us what you think. Who's your pick?
I'm gonna go with the Patriots. Sadly.
Okay. Well, Ethan.
I mean, listen, I would absolutely love to see the Patriots not win because their fans are almost as obnoxious as Alabama fans to me since I'm a Georgia fan. And, being a semi-Falcons fan, hearing about the Patriots for the past year due to the Super Bowl blunder,
yes,
it's pretty obnoxious. So, seeing, I enjoy seeing Tom Brady on his greatness parade, going down as one of the best quarterbacks or one of the best players to ever play. He goes out here and wins his 6th ring. There's no doubt about it that he's the greatest quarterback to ever play. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that? So, therefore, I mean, yeah, it's cool to see him doing good and everything, but I also don't enjoy watching them beat everyone and not be enjoyable for everyone else.
Yeah.
You can't be a fan of another team because they're going to lose.
Yeah, and that's so your pick is.
Well, I picked the Patriots, but I don't think it's going to be a high offensive game. I think there plays a game every year. There's the interception on the 1-yard line and against Seattle. There's the helmet catch against the Giants. Or there's always one big play game. But I think this one's going to be a big defensive play, maybe recovered fumble. I don't think it's going to be interception. I don't think there's going to be many interceptions. I think it's going to be a recovered fumble off of a hard hit. And I think it's going to be a big defensive play of the game.
So Julian Edelman's catch off of Robert Alford's leg last year?
Yes. There's always a big play.
There's always a big little play. Little by meaning it comes down to inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. I can get behind that. But here's my thing. This New England squad, you got a lot of guys that have never really. Not New England, but Philadelphia. You've got some guys that have never been to the Super Bowl before, and I guess what I'm trying to say is that their age, their inexperience really tries to. That's going to play into it because they're not scared of Tom Brady. Kind of the way the Jaguars were. They weren't scared of Tom Brady. They just went in there and they played out of their minds, and they almost dethroned the dark side. That is the Patriots. But unfortunately, I don't think it happens. I think New England gets its second straight. I think New England's going to win. As much as it pains me to say that, I think New England wins. Let's move on. Guys, it's time to play our first ever edition of Minute to Win It. Fellas, if you'll take out the notepads on your phone, we're going to give you 1 minute to name as many NFL teams as you can. This is going to be between Tate Tipton and Ethan Payne. As many NFL teams as you can in 1 minute.
Does that be city and the logo and the team name, or it can just be?
So you have to go city and mascot.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Yeah, city and mascot. The winner gets a prize that I've pre-selected.
You get a free ketchup packet we found in the calf.
That is not true. I do have something better than that. Something a lot better than that, more useful. But anyway, your time to name as many NFL teams out of 32 as you can in 1 minute starts right now. Go. And as they're filling out their teams. Oh man, I wish you could see this. They are really, really intense here. How's it coming, fellas?
It's straight. It's pretty good.
Talk.
Why? You can't talk?
No,
Why?
because I'm trying to focus.
While they're talking, I'll bring up a quote that Bill Belichick said at Super Bowl Media Day yesterday. Someone asked Bill Belichick what made this Super Bowl different than all the rest.
He said this one's in Minnesota.
He said this one's in Minnesota. Yep, you can't hide it. 10 seconds left, fellas. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. All right, count them up. How many you got, and we'll go.
All right, Tate, let's start counting together. All right, ready? I got Cleveland Browns.
I got the Falcons.
I got San Francisco 49ers.
I have the Seahawks.
New England Patriots.
New Orleans Saints.
Minnesota Vikings.
Carolina Panthers.
Atlanta Falcons.
Tampa Bay Bucks.
New Orleans Saints.
Miami Dolphins.
Carolina Panthers.
Patriots.
Seattle Seahawks.
Patriots from where, Tate?
New England.
There you go.
You go.
Philadelphia Eagles.
I have the Philadelphia Eagles.
Miami Dolphins.
L.A. Rams.
And all I got to write down was the Buccaneers.
Ooh, okay.
Next, I had the
How many
L.A.
is that?
Raiders, the Minnesota Vikings, the New York Giants, and the New York Jets.
He destroyed me.
Wow. Tate Tipton winning our first ever game of Minute to Win It. Tate, you win a moist towelette from Buffalo Wild Wings. There you go, buddy. Wow. Congratulations. All right. Ethan, what was your final score?
I had 10 and a half.
10 and a half? Wow. Wow, congratulations. Okay. Now it's time for everyone's favorite Hot Take Showdown. Ethan, do you want to go first, or should I?
I'll absolutely go first, but I'm sorry to disappoint today. I only have 2.
That's
Did
fine.
not get my third one.
That's okay. Let's hit it. Let's
All right.
hit him with us.
My first one. I believe Nick Saban finds himself in the NFL before his career in coaching is over.
No.
All right, let me tell you why I believe this. All
Okay.
right.
I'm listening.
Nick Saban is going to go down as one of the greatest college football coaches of all time.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt. So you got to sit there and wonder, after he wins 2, 3, 7 more national championships, you got to start to wonder, when does he start feeling like he's playing a video game on easy? When does he want something more? When does he want to go up to another level and prove himself to be the greatest coach to ever coach anything if he can have the same success in the NFL. Yeah, he was in the NFL before. He did not have nearly the success. But after seeing how he is in college, you think he could produce that in the NFL? No, it is different in the NFL and college due to recruiting and everything.
Yeah.
But I still think the players just I don't know why I'm getting at this. They aren't just good because they go there. Like he has some sort of he is the one producing the talent and making them making the right decisions. I mean, speaking of decisions, he took out. I mean, he put in a backup quarterback with no starts in the national championship game to win.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So do you think that success could translate to the NFL?
But okay, to an extent, college style coaching and playing does not transfer to the NFL. We've seen that with many of players. See Tim Tebow, see Johnny Manziel, see.
But these are players, and not all players. There's always busts. There's always busts.
Well, and Nick Saban never had success in the NFL beforehand. He was the coach with the Dolphins. Him and Belichick both coached on the Browns. I don't know. I don't think he goes back to the NFL simply because of how much success he's having. And Nick Saban's the type of guy, he's going to quit while he's ahead. He's not going to sit around and let his
trophies pile up.
Yeah, he's not gonna gamble on something he doesn't know the end result of. He knows that 9 out of 10 times he's gonna win the national championship in college football. Moving on, what's your next one?
All right, I believe. All right, so everyone knows, the one and done rule in college basketball. You have to go to college for 1 year before you can go to the NFL or go to the NBA. And what I think now is that more players might be willing to take the Lonzo Ball route and go overseas for 1 season before returning to the NBA. Because, look at it this way. You're a college basketball player. You're not there for anything other than basketball. You don't care about your classes. You're there for basketball. So why wouldn't they want to go overseas and get money while they can before they you're being forced to wait a year before you can go to the NBA and make big money. Why not go overseas and make a little money and have the same thing done without having to go to classes or whatever? You get to just go play basketball, get paid, and then go to the NBA.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't necessarily agree with the Ball family.
Absolutely
and
not.
That decision to do that.
No, I think it's a terrible decision. But I think that it opens the eyes of other college students, of other high school athletes that might want to take that path.
Okay, even though you do go just for basketball, even though you do go to college just for basketball. You still learn a little bit while you're there.
I don't believe any of them care about their education whatsoever.
So
I've seen this firsthand at other places.
Are you jumping to the conclusion that college basketball players do not care about their education?
No, the players who know they're going to be a lottery pick in the NBA why do they care if they're not going to be there for 4 years? What does 1 semester matter to them?
Well, I think that's where you're wrong. I think all individuals treasure their education at their respected universities.
Cam Newton doesn't know his ABCs.
Tate, what are your thoughts?
I think the reason that players go to college instead of going overseas, because the good ones obviously have that option, is to play against the best of the best people their age. And that's why more don't go overseas, because there's good players, but you see the potential and the more stars come out of D1 college basketball than you do overseas.
And simply there's more attention in college basketball. No one's going to tune into Lithuania. They're not going to tune into their channel 54 to watch, pro basketball over there just because there's 2 or 3 guys.
Do you not watch
there.
it because there's anyone you know there? What if Ben Simmons didn't go to college? He went to he went straight to
I wouldn't know who
Lithuania.
Ben Simmons is if he didn't go to college.
If you kept up with high school recruiting, you know exactly who Ben Simmons is
who
at the time.
They're in
Lithuania. You know who Lonzo Ball is?
Yes, because he went to UCLA. And
no, he did not. Lonzo.
Yes, he did.
Oh, wait, no, that's Lonzo. I think. I messed up the whole time. I was speaking of.
You thinking
of
LaMelo?
LaMelo.
And Angelo. Well,
Yeah,
those guys.
Lonzo Ball at UCLA. Yeah, my bad. Another big mess up. But yeah, I was speaking of LaMelo the whole time.
Well, that's.
You know who he is,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
you know that.
you know-
well, you knew of it before his dad even came. I mean, that's another conversation.
I didn't. Because I just don't care. Moving on to I'll wrap up on yours. I think they should go to college. Go to college. Get a fourth of an education, a quarter of an education.
It's an 8th. Wait.
Yeah, it's 4 years.
1, 2. Yeah, but you're only there for you only care about 1 semester.
No,
Most
they-
of
they'll
them go
finish
to
one
next
year.
semester.
They'll
They're
finish
there
one
for a
year.
year.
Yeah, one whole year.
See how many
Anyway,
classes they pass next semester.
moving on. My hot takes. Number 1, Nebraska makes the Big Ten championship in their first year under Scott Frost. Fellas, Scott Frost now at Nebraska. Did you hear the news that Scott Frost put in his conditioning program at Nebraska the other day? In their transition workout. First off, they watered down the transition workout because they knew it was going to be a drastic change. So they watered it down as much as they could. 30-minute workout, sent 2 guys to the hospital. Already. And I think that's huge. I think Scott Frost is definitely a difference maker, and he's not the only reason. I take that back. He was a huge part in UCF's success. So I think that Nebraska is going to make the Big Ten championship in their first year under Scott Frost, simply because, that division, the Big Ten, Big Ten West is an incredibly weak division. Moving on to my second one, unless you guys have a rebuttal.
I mean, Nebraska's an established program already, with always in the chances of competing for that. And Scott Frost is a fantastic coach. Clearly, I mean, he took UCF from nothing to claim national championships. I think that's I don't find them as much of a hot take as a just strong suggestion.
Well, yeah. Also, look at who's in that division. Iowa.
But you say you think they're going to win, or do you say think they're going to go to the championship?
They're going to make it. They're going to go undefeated in their division, not necessarily their conference. Moving on to my second one, Alex Smith is no different than Kirk Cousins. Teams should not push for Kirk Cousins. I think he's reached the end of his career. Wasn't getting it done in Washington. Also, neither was Alex Smith getting it done in Kansas City necessarily. Alex Smith is no different than Kirk Cousins. You won't see a difference on the field with Washington this year, other than there's a different guy under center. And my last one is that the MLB new pace of play rules are entirely bogus. It's ridiculous. The average time of an NFL game was like 3 hours and 12 minutes, and average time of an MLB game is like 3 hours, 11 minutes, and 5 seconds. So it's right on par. And it takes longer to watch. To me, it feels like it takes longer to watch an NFL game because they're calling all these timeouts and media timeouts and all this, and it's a little bit ridiculous, I would say. And there's a new one that Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, is putting into effect. He's going to experiment with it this year in the All-Star game, is putting runners on second to begin the 11th inning, and they're on, so on and so forth. Ethan, what are your thoughts? You and I both played baseball in high school. You play baseball now. What are your thoughts?
That's something you did in old 7 and 8 year old All Stars. You
Yeah,
do that in rec ball. You don't do
what they
that
do.
with grown men.
They do that in travel softball right now.
Grown men who can hit 500-foot home runs don't need somebody on second to help them win. These are grown men making millions of dollars to play a game they are the best in the world
They're grown-ups.
at, and you don't chop this down to a child's game to help the time go faster, to help viewings go up, make people watch longer. That's not what it's about. It's about the game. Those guys, they don't care about how many people watch their game. They care about how many wins they get, how many rings they get, how much money they get in the contract extension due to their stats last season. They don't care about how many what people watch. They get extra at bats a game in a lengthy game. That's going to help their stats.
And here's my thing. People are going to watch baseball because they want to watch baseball. You've got these tradition-filled baseball teams and fans. They want to watch the preserved game. They want to watch America's pastime. They don't want to watch your new flashy pace of play, quick game rules. They want to watch a good classic baseball game, 9 innings of fun, and then after the 9th, you get free baseball. Everyone loves free baseball. And everyone loves extra innings. And no one wants to watch your new adapted version of the game. They want to watch America's greatest pastime. It's plain and simple. That's all I've got. All right. It's time for our newest.
Hold on. I want to see if Tate has any hot takes. Tate, you got anything special you'd like to say? Anything controversial you'd like to mention?
Just off the top of my head.
Sports-wise.
Yeah, sports-wise, obviously. I would say that in 2 years, you'll see the Hawks back in the playoffs.
So, a quick turnaround?
Yes. I think they're going to make some moves at this trade deadline to get them a couple extra picks. And then it'll help them just sneak into the 8th seed because the East is weak.
East is very weak. That's a pretty bold statement. Speaking of basketball, let's move to our new segment called the Pick Six. It's where we make our picks on 6 nightly NBA games.
We have recently learned out I am terrible at this game, so you are welcome to take this one for the team take over for me.
I know for a fact we actually got one wrong the other night. The Timberwolves lost to the Hawks. Hawks beat the Timberwolves. Jeff T called a timeout with like 14 seconds left. They didn't have any timeouts left. They were up by 1. Hawks free throws, game over. Hawks win. We were wrong. That's a loss I'll take every day. Go Hawks. But Tate, since you're here, we're gonna make 6 picks on nightly NBA games. First up is the Grizzlies and the Pacers tonight at 7.
Pacers.
Why?
I like Victor Oladipo, and really the Grizzlies don't have much. Marc Gasol is declining, and they really have Tyreke Evans, who is having a good year, but I'm not a big fan.
Ethan, write these names down.
I need to learn names. I need to learn basketball.
All right, Ethan, who's your pick for the Grizzlies and the Pacers?
What did Tate say?
He said
the Pacers, right? I'm gonna say the Grizzlies.
All right, Lakers and Magic tonight at 7. Who you got?
I got Lakers. You can't say it for me.
Okay, I'm going with the Lakers as well.
All right, so the Magic's running out. 76ers and the Nets tonight at 7:30.
Listen, every single time we've done this so far, I've taken the Sixers because I really enjoy their young team.
Have you even kept up with what happens?
I haven't watched the game yet, but I'm gonna stick with the Sixers on this one.
Let's go with the Sixers.
Heat and Cavaliers. Ooh.
The Heat.
I'm also going to take the Heat because the Cavs are turning into a little bit of a dumpster fire. I want to see how you can have a guy who's in the conversation for the greatest of all time, and have such a dumpster fire going on.
All right, the Boston Celtics and the New York Knickerbockers tonight at 8 o'clock. That's the Knicks. The Knicks.
Where's it at?
It is in Boston.
Boston.
I was going to say Boston either way.
What does that?
Boston.
Does that make a difference if it's home or away?
Well, I mean, it's home.
It's Boston.
Court advantage, but I was thinking.
Those Boston fans are ruthless.
So are the Knicks fans.
All right. Well, so your pick is the Celtics because
Yeah.
they're home. Ethan, Celtics?
Yeah, I think Larry Bird's going to help him through this game right here. Really lead the team.
Ethan is so far behind. He thinks Larry Bird's going to make a difference tonight. Last one, Hornets and the Hawks. The Hawks are wearing their 70s throwbacks uniforms, if that makes a difference. I'm going to go with the Hawks.
I'm going to go with the Hornets because Dwight Howard is still pretty mad about this whole trade that happened.
Yeah, I'd be more mad if I was at Atlanta, so I'm going to go with the Hawks.
All right, so that is it. Hey, if you haven't already, follow us on Twitter at TEA Radio SU. Hop on that bandwagon. Follow us on Instagram, Touch 'em All Sports Radio. Tweet at us. Hot Tea Take, HOTTEATAKE. We will read your tweet on the air. That's for certain. I'm Justin Franklin.
I'm Ethan Payne.
I'm Tate Tipton.
Thanks, Tate, for joining us. This has been Touch 'em All Sports Radio. See you next time.